Welcome back, Star Wars fans. Today, we're going to answer the call from Reynolds Reviews, and you're going to see my picks for the Return of the Jedi Retro Collection in the Vintage Collection. Cue the shot of BB-9E and the alarm klaxon. Hello there. So the other day, Luke from Reynolds Reviews, he did a video speculating on what the Return of the Jedi retro vintage figures could be. And towards the end of it, he kind of put out a little challenge for the rest of us to make a video on speculating what we would think the retro vintage for Return of the Jedi would be. And it's kind of weird because I don't dislike the retro vintage, but I don't really collect vintage other than, what I've already got in my collection, which are my childhood toys. Although I was a complete sucker and bought both waves of the retro vintage Mandalorian stuff because I just really liked them, and it's just something I didn't have, and I really do like the style. So that's why they're here. I didn't want to just throw my list out. We'll go through them one by one here. But I did go back and I looked at the first two waves, the Empire Strikes Back and the original Star Wars waves. And I did notice there is a bit of a pattern. First off, you are going to get a Han, a Luke, and a Leia. And so doing further research, I'm thinking if we're going to do a Return of the Jedi wave, it's going to be something that showed up on a Return of the Jedi card and did not come in on that last little bit on the Power of the Force card. So I'm kind of limiting myself to that. And luckily I was going through my stuff and I have this old 77 back figure card here. And I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think that's still considered unpunched? But I'll even show you the front. It's kind of neat. This is my old 88 figure. Boy, could you imagine? I don't think he's going for that price now. But I still have the bubble on here. This is towards the end of, when I was still getting Star Wars figures. A little bit of a crush there, but whatever. I just thought it was neat that I still kept the bubble on it and stuff. And actually, I'm surprised the proof of purchase is still on it. But anyway, we'll go back here. The whole point was to look, this is the 77 back. So this is basically all of the figures with the exception of the Power of the Force figures. This was really kind of the time when, I was like 12, 13 years old. So it wasn't really, into action figures at that point. And, so I was hitting the teenage years. So it was, a lot less in my focus there. But so we have these, this is really kind of the group we need to pick from. So obviously, as I would say, we get the Luke, the Leia, and the Han out of the way. So obviously, for obvious reasons, I will agree. I think if they're gonna do a Luke figure, one thing they have to do is Jedi Luke. And come on, focus. So this is my Jedi Luke, still in really good condition here. And of course, this is unlike my first action figure, which you've all seen. So Farm Boy Luke here. These guys, I tended to be I was a little older, a little more careful with my figures. But so I would definitely put him in the mix. That's kind of a one you can imagine there'd be. Now, as far as a Leia, there is the Endor Leia, which I do not have. But I do have, and Luke, I will agree with you. I think if they're going to do a Leia, this would be the Leia to do, and that is the Leia and the Bouche Bounty Hunter disguise here. Got the removable helmet. And the only Leia I have that still has her weapon. It's kind of hard to lose that thing. But, the little sporting blaster ones that came with them. Those things got lost. That weapon was so small. So So put that there. Now, as far as the Han, there is only one Han we can pick from this. I mean, there was, and that would be this one here, and that's the Han in the Endor trench coat. So, because he did, as far as Return of the Jedi, there was that one. There is also the Han in Carbonite, but that was a Power of the Force figure, so I'm not including him as eligible for this list. Okay, so there would always be 6, this thing is there's 6 figures, so that takes care of 3 of them. Plus, you would get one that we hadn't seen before. Like in the first wave, it was these are 2 that I did get from the first 2 retro vintage waves. Was the Grand Moff Tarkin. It's up on the wall. You can see it. I think it's in my Grim Tour video, as well as for the Empire Strikes Back. It's the Luke and Snowspeeder pilot gear. So we'll get to that, what I think, because there will be a figure that they may have done in the modern line or something, but that did not come in the vintage line, and I'll get to that in a minute. My pick for that would be. But as far as other figures that we've seen before, we should have 3 more, and I think one of them would definitely be the Emperor. A lot of I picked this one mainly because you have Luke and in each wave, but you also have Yoda, and I think it would be a good counter to Yoda to have the really powerful bad guy. So let's put him here. I think he would be one. And then here's the thing: it was like there are just so many cool figures to choose from. But I'm thinking about it, and there's just really 2 that I would really like, that I think would be interesting to see them do. And the first one, and this has got to be one of the ones I really liked from the Return of the Jedi line, is it would be this guy here. That would be the original Clay 2. I don't know, I just always thought he was just kind of a cool guy, hanging out. It was a cool one to put there in Jabba's palace. And, there were so many cool, Jabba's goons. I mean, another one would be Squidhead or Reeves, there's Clay 2. There's, Weequay is another really good one. But I think these are, there's a good choice. Bib Fortuna maybe, but I really just kind of like, kind of a background guy to put in there. And then, again, kind of went to the well again on this one. But it's just another really good one. I think, it's a fun one to have. And that was the Gomorian Guard. I mean, he's just you can see here, just another, they're really kind of neat to see. Obviously, one gets eaten by the Rancor. And so that is one. Whoops. That would be another one that I would pick if they were asking me. But I also think it's kind of likely that you would see him, as I drop everything there. But that would be definitely a good solid choice. Now here is the one. There's always one figure that they didn't do previously. Like I said, they did Grand Moff Tarkin in the Star Wars wave. They did that Luke in his Endor, not Endor, sorry, the Hoth Snowspeeder pilot outfit with the different gloves. But there was always one figure when I was a kid that I wanted them to do after seeing Return of the Jedi, and they didn't do it until Power of the Force 2. And that would be, it would be a Darth Vader. But the one thing is, and it's probably just be one piece, but removable helmet. And now, because the Return of the Jedi wave was the first time you got to see figures with removable helmets. And so because you had the obviously the Leia, and then also the also the Leia, the Endor Leia had the removable helmet, and then you also had the Lando in his gift card disguise. Another great figure. it's a possible they could do that one as Luke had in his video. I just kind of wanted to go a little different. They did Lando in The Empire Strikes Back. I don't know if they'd go back to him in Return of the Jedi like they do Leia, Han, and Luke. So, but I think I really would kind of neat to see like a vintage Vader, you know, a vintage styled Vader, with the vinyl cape, the lightsaber in the arm, all that stuff. But the helmet could come off and it would show like his disfigured head. I just think that would be kind of cool to see. You know, I guess there are so many really good choices there. I mean, you know, if there's going to be an army builder, you could do the Scout Trooper, which is a fantastic figure. I always love that guy. But there's also the Endor Rebel Soldier. You could do him, you know. But, you know, they don't necessarily do army builders because what do they have for the Empire Strikes Back wave? Yeah, thanks, R2. They had the Bespin Luke, they had the Hoth Leia, Hoth Han, they had Lando, they had Boba Fett, and there was one more, and I'm just flaking on it right now. But it wasn't really, if I remember, there wasn't an army builder. So, you know, so it doesn't necessarily have to have one, but I think these would be good choices because, I mean, really kind of get, you know, you get the cool aliens that they had in Return of the Jedi in Jabba's palace, because there was just tons of great aliens in there. You know, you got the three mainstays, like I said, and there's a version for each one in there. You know, and then you get the one that you never got before, and I could see them doing something like this, you know, doing the Vader. I think that would be really cool, and that might be something I actually pick up, you know, and of course it'll be in some board game, that one, because that's going to be the one everybody wants. But so that should do it for this one. Thanks, Luke, for getting me to think about this. This is actually kind of a fun little thought exercise, and I had fun kind of digging through. Unfortunately, I don't have all the vintage figures that I wanted to show. I never got the Endor Han when I was a kid. But yeah, it was kind of fun. I was, like I said, digging through and finding this old card back was really kind of cool. And I have a bunch of the 65 card backs too, but it's like that doesn't show everybody. And so going on to find the 77 back, which does cover all the Return of the Jedi figures, was kind of cool. But let me know what you think. I would love to see, what you guys come up with. You know, so you can write it below, and you know, give me a comment if you like this video. Leave a like. Thanks for watching, really. And you know, if you're a subscriber already, thanks. I really appreciate it. If you aren't, please consider it. It'd be kind of nice to have you as part of the crew. And that's pretty much it for this one. And other than, hey, Luke, just remember, you know, imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. I just decided to have a little fun with you at the beginning. But thanks again for watching, and until next time, may the Force be with you.
Remember, the Force will be with you always. The Force will be with you.